All right, so I'm headed into Death Valley. I didn't think I was going to go. I just had it in my mind. National Park, you probably have to stay in designated campgrounds and book them weeks in advance, and it would just be a pain in the butt to organize. But to my surprise, the vast majority of Death Valley is actually open to car camping almost anywhere you want, and the permit system is completely voluntary. All you have to do is buy the park pass. There are some rules, some places that they don't want you to camp. I downloaded a map off their website that shows those locations. But I've bike toured through Death Valley a number of times. I've done a lot of research on the area, and I know where quite a few of these old miners' cabins are located. I just could never reach them on my bicycle, so I think now's the time to go check them out. The first one is called Fred's Cabin, and that's all I know about it. I couldn't find any other info online, and it's not too far up here, so let's go take a look. Yeah, this looks like a beauty. Very good condition. Yeah, I'd love to spend the night. This is a genuine Death Valley experience, but it's Friday night. A bunch of people show up that drove a long way and aren't equipped with a bed on wheels, and I'd probably let them have it. Otherwise, I'm gonna spend the night. There's the flag. You're supposed to put that up front to signal that it's occupied. Even got a fridge. Look at this place. It's unbelievable. Usually they're completely overrun with rats, and I don't see a single turd. I can't believe it. It's yeah, definitely a timepiece. Look at this carpet. I love it. And the wood stove is actually functional. Somebody's rigged up some solar. I don't think it's working though. Maybe I could just run an extension cord from my van to power the lights in here. I really like this cabinetry too. They did a nice job on it. It's hard to know if this is actually the original design, because you'd think you'd have a bed somewhere inside the main structure. And not just these collapsible ones out on the deck. This is a lot of wood stove. I don't know if I can handle all this. I'm just really thankful for all the people who take care of places like this, respect them. So not only can we see remnants of the past, we can actually experience them. Spend a night, soak it in, try to imagine what it would have been like 50 years ago, 100 years ago to be out here. This is the closest that you can get to all the history in Death Valley, and it's just really amazing to be here. So today I'm going to head down into Saline Valley and hike up Beveridge Canyon. A lot of people should be familiar with this cabin because it was featured on the Ghost Town Living channel recently. It got millions of views, and it's supposed to be a difficult hike up there. There's some warm springs up there. I've been there once. It's just not very camera friendly, if you know what I mean. You see things there you can't unsee. They get seared into your brain. I actually wasn't aware of this one, so I'll try to add that in for cabin number 3. Then the last one is down in this area. It's in an old train boxcar. So that's basically the itinerary of this trip here in Death Valley. So this is where the hike begins. For the first part of the climb, you follow an old road cut up to the Snowflake Mine, then it turns into a footpath. But believe it or not, there is a town site up there. Very difficult hike, they say. I think it'll take about 5 hours to hike up there, not too sure. The Park Service says it takes a day or two, but they usually way overestimate how difficult things are. I think the hardest thing is just going to be the heat. So I'll probably carry some extra water with me. But at least there's a spring up there that I can refill from tonight. I'm going to bring my tent. I have a strong suspicion that I'm going to be sleeping outside tonight. And if there's water around, then there could be mosquitoes and flies. There'll also be snakes up there, other visitors that I don't want in the night. And so it begins, the hike up to Beveridge, a remote ghost town here in the Inyo Mountains, California. What's that one up in Alaska? Portlock? Doing overnight there, I dare ya. The road just ended. I'm on a marked footpath now. It's easy to follow. I'd say I've done half the climbing so far. There's just one more push up this. Then you go straight across to Beverage, and there's a little more climbing to reach Frenchie's cabin with a lot of bushwhacking in between, apparently. Not bad, not bad. Making distance. That looks like the end of the climbing bit. 3.5 hours, 8.5 kilometers, and 1,600 meter gain. So it's been a sturdy hike. I was just about to say how much of a breeze this has been. There's been a good trail the whole way. Good footing. I've just been cruising right along. Then it just ended abruptly. And I guess you're supposed to figure it out for yourself from here on in. Unless I took a wrong turn. But I'm just going to concentrate on getting to Frenchie's cabin before it gets dark. Then I'll take a closer look at Beverage tomorrow morning. I had to down climb that. This all of a sudden got spicy. I think maybe it's better to stay up high. That's what I'll aim for on the way back. I can see some machinery down there. I can also hear the water, so I think it's safe to make my way down to the bottom of the canyon. How can you possibly get through all these thorns? This is worse than Devil's Club. Alright, I'm just gonna try to make my way up to the cabin, and I'll see you there. This is probably a bad idea. I'm going to smoke the place out. But I'm a wood stove addict and I need a hit. I'm going to spray some gas on it with my stove. Let's do this. So far so good. The smoke is going in the right place. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Maybe go cut some more wood. Yeah, this chicken gumbo was pretty good. I like it. We're reaching all new levels of civilized tonight. This cabin, it's as clean as it could be. I mean, I don't see that much in terms of signs of mice and rats. I've seen a few spiders patrolling around, but I think I'll sleep right here. It's good enough for me. This wood stove's a good design. All you really need to do is lash together some sheet metal. There you go. And all these rocks are absorbing the heat, so when the fire burns out, I'll just release all that for a couple more hours. And I'm boiling water because I didn't bring a filter. I drank about 2 liters on the way up. This is awesome. How much better could you ask for? This is the definition of wealth. Alright, good morning. Now that it's light out, I can do a tour of the place. It looks like something right out of a movie set. I feel really lucky to be able to spend a night in a place like this. I didn't trust the water out of this rusty pipe. I was going further upstream to gather what I needed. Yeah, I slept all right in here. There was one mouse that came in, but other than that, I had a good night. There's some sriracha, slightly expired. You wonder how much longer a place like this is going to last, but at least the climate is really stable here. It hardly ever rains or falls below freezing. That helps to preserve it. I think it was about 5 degrees Celsius here last night. And there's a storage area over here. Could have baked some muffins last night. I missed out. There must have been a generator here at one time. And yeah, you can see how the back wall, it uses the natural rock formations there. It's built into it. But yeah, that's like a grand tour of the place. A lot of people have been here over the years. This dates back all the way to 1991. The last person to be here, Brent Underwood, Ghost Town Living, November 26th. It's cool to see his signature. It took 6 hours to get up here, so I should be back within 5. Once I link up with that trail again, I'll be cruising along. But all these areas in the Inyo Mountains, they've all been explored so thoroughly. There's prospects everywhere, a lot of activity. That is a very impressive fireplace. They even built a chimney up through the rocks. So that's what's left of Beveridge. It seems like a very unlikely candidate for a place to build a town, but if only you could see it operational and hear these machines running. But it's time for me to begin to climb on out of here. There's no simple way to go about it. Just aim for that point there and figure it out as you go. So that took 12 and a half hours, pretty equal on the old in and out on this one, but it was a difficult hike. The climb out of Beveridge was tricky enough, but it was also over quick enough. We're 2 for 2 on cabins now. Let's see if we can reach this Hunter cabin. I think it's about an hour and a half drive from here, so let's see if we can keep it rolling. All right, I found the cabin. It's a bit of a walk up there. It's a beautiful historical log cabin, but it's completely unfurnished, and I don't feel like hauling all my stuff up there right now. I'm pretty exhausted, and I could use some rest, so I'm just going to stay cozy in the van tonight. Normally you can drive right up to the cabin, but the road is all iced over. It was a messy drive getting up here last night. It's all muddy. I'm at about 7,000 feet elevation right now. It's slightly chilly. The construction of it is interesting for sure, but it's just 4 walls, a roof, a floor. It's not really something that you need to sleep inside. Last night on my way up here, I thought it'd be fun to smash through one of these puddles at speed, but 2 seconds after I did it, I gotta check engine light. I probably splashed water way up inside my engine, got some connections wet. It went away after about 10 minutes, but note to self, don't do that again. So this is the Boxcar cabin, and it's right along the main road, so it gets a lot of visitors. So there's barely a square inch of wall or ceiling that hasn't been written on. I was expecting there to be a bed platform in here. There's nothing. Yesterday, 4 different groups of people came through. The wood stove is supposed to be good and operational. Comes with some supplies. But yeah, this is too public for me. There's just going to be a stream of people coming through, so I'm going to go camp out in the desert instead. It doesn't seem like I hiked down a mountain yesterday. It feels like a long time ago. My stiff legs are reminding me of it. So I'm going to take today to rest, and I think I have more than enough footage to wrap up a video, so I should get to work on that. But thanks everyone for the support and encouragement, and we'll keep it rolling with more content like this. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and thank you to Patreon supporters, and I am way overdue for a shower.